So whenever in that stereotype annotation, so till yet we have covered about that at the rate component annotation and at the rate service annotation. At the this stereotype annotations, why we use, we before this stereotype annotation we generally used to configure bean in that XML file, right, using bean tag, and also we have used many attributes there to set the values either based on that setter level or constructor level, as well as dependency injections also we have done using that reference type also, right. Then we have also seen that how we can do auto wiring from XML based as well as Java based so far, right. So
Yes, yes.
but each and every time we write bean tag for each class inside that spring config.xml file, such that whenever we used to run our spring application, at that moment a spring IOC container directly, a spring IOC container was scanning which one, that is spring config file .xml file. From that, during a scanning of that XML file, a spring IOC container actually that spring IOC container actually looks for bean tag, and accordingly that bean is getting created by whom, IOC container, because using that bean tag, a spring IOC container get to know that okay, I have to create bean for these classes. Which classes? That classes which we are already declaring inside that bean tag, isn't it? Bean, we are giving the name of that bean, as well as classes also we are giving, and accordingly inside that bean tag we are providing values to stored inside, isn't it? So so far we have instructed IOC container that you have to look for a spring config file, on from there XML file, from there you need to get the bean details, and accordingly you need to create the bean. Once you create the bean, whenever I will ask you to give me the bean, you have to give me the bean, isn't it? As well as how to give instruction to IOC container to initialize those beans with which values we have seen so far too, isn't it? Now
Mhm.
XML based we have done a lot of practice on that. Now question was, without XML based can we instruct IOC container to create bean? Yes, we can do that without using bean tag, isn't it? So now bean tag is getting replaced by which one? Annotations. At the rate annotations we are using, at the rate means we are using annotations which will directly speak to a spring IOC container that you need to create bean for these classes, and for that reason we are learning what, a stereotype annotation in spring. Getting my point? This is the replacement of bean tag which we use inside that XML file. Clear? In this
Mhm.
stereotype annotation, so far we have covered at the rate component and at the rate service. What do you mean by at the rate component? At the rate component is an annotation, is a type of annotation which is the base annotation in a stereotype annotation, which is a common annotation. Means what? This annotation at the rate component we can use at on our any Java classes in Spring, and if we use at the rate component annotation on any Java classes, it will directly instruct to IOC container, Spring IOC container, that you have to create bean for this class. That's it.
Okay.
If we give any bean name, if we give any bean name, then according to this name and that bean will get created. If we won't give any bean, then according to the class name bean will get created. This is the general annotation. On any class we will use accordingly, a spring IOC will get to know that I have to create a bean for this. Bean means what? Object only, that's it. After creating how to initialize value, so value at the rate value, and inside that just you give that value. That's it. Getting my point? Now
Yes, sir.
at the rate component we have covered, and we are not using any bean tag inside that XML file. No. Now next annotation what we are having, at the rate service annotation. What it actually does undo, at the rate service annotation, this is also a type of stereotype annotation in a Spring. Remember, in a Spring stereotype annotation, any annotation if you will use which falls under stereotype, that simply tells a Spring IOC container that you need to create a bean for this class. That's it. Whether you use at the rate component, at the rate service, at the rate repository, at the rate controller, no matter at all. Whenever a Spring IOC container will execute this, during that time IOC will get to know I have to create a bean for this. Bean means what? I have to create object of this class. And object, after creating object, where IOC container will put, IOC container will put those object inside IOC container itself. Isn't it? Container means what? A space where bean will get stored. That's it. Whenever we required, we will ask from IOC container that give me bean. Then IOC container will tell us what? Tell me the name of bean which you want I should give to you. Then whenever we'll ask IOC container to give me the bean, at that point of time we need to tell to IOC container the name of that bean, and accordingly that IOC container will look into their container. If that bean with the same name would be available, they will directly give us back, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And if we will get bean means what? We will have that object of that class, we can use that object. Using that object we can call their properties, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So in the similar way we are having a next annotation is what? Service, at the rate service. Remember, annotation means what? At the rate, then
Mm.
followed by name. This is called annotation. Anywhere in your project, if you can see in Java project that any word annotated with at the rate symbol, just you simply remember that that is what? An annotation. That's it. Above, if you can go over there, this is what? At the rate value. What is this? This is also one annotation. At the rate
Yeah,
component, this is what? This is also annotation. Annotation, it means what? It is the configuration which we used to do in the XML file. For their replacement, it is this annotation. That's it.
mm-hmm.
Suppose this at the rate value, it means what? It is the replacement of property tag we use inside that XML tag bean tag, right? XML file bean tag we use in a property, then we used to set the
Yeah, yeah.
value,
Mm-hmm.
or constructor also. Their replacement is this one only, at the rate value.
Yeah, yeah.
Assignment, value assignment is this one only, right? So at the rate value, this is one annotation. It is the replacement of property tag which we use in a Spring config XML file. So annotation means what? It is the replacement of which one? XML
XML
configuration file
configuration.
tags. That's it. Means we are shifting from XML based configuration to annotation based, which we use in Java. Simply at the rate value. That's it. No any XML tag, nothing you need to use. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, we are having over here edit service. This is an annotation which will mark a class as a service provider. That's it. Service provider means what? Inside this class, business logic would be written, and when we annotate this class with at the rate service, IOC Spring IOC container will get to know that I have to create bean for this class. You use at the rate component also. At that moment also, Spring IOC container will create bean. If you are using at the rate service, at this moment also, Spring IOC container will create bean for this class. If you use at the rate repository, at this moment also, Spring IOC will create bean. If you use at the rate controller, at that moment also, Spring IOC container will create bean. Remember, because these are stereotype annotation. But according to our use, we are using annotation. For general purpose bean creation, we use at the rate component. For the class in which we wrote a business logic. For that we are using which one? @service. The classes in which we are dealing with HTTP request and response means over front end web browser. Give me 1 minute. Anirban has called me back.
Okay.
Anirban,
Hello, sir. Yes, sir.
are you available? Can you join now?
Yes, sir. Definitely.
Yeah, please join then. I'm waiting over in that meet.
Okay, definitely. Actually,
Yeah.
actually, sir, I was gone to bathroom. Yes, sir.
Okay, no issue, no issue. Now you are free,
I
right?
returned I returned home at around 7:45. Okay, sir.
Now are you available?
Yeah, yes, sir. Definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
please
Sir.
join, please join.
Okay, thank you. Sir. Okay.
So at this moment @service annotation we are using, which is marking a class as a service provider. That's it. Now we use @controller annotation that we use over the class. That class will mark as a controller. It means what? That controller class is responsible to handle which one? Request from web browser, means HTTP request they are responsible to handle. That's it. And @controller we use only in web application, not in simple Java application. In Spring Boot we can use it on simple Java application also. Getting
Okay.
my point?
Yeah.
I will
Got
guide
it.
you. At this moment you need to focus more only on which one? @component, @service,
Okay.
@repository, @repository also. But
Okay.
repository and controller you will get to know when we'll work on a Spring MVC project. There we'll use it.
Definitely.
So uh, I will show you practical on this also. This which one? @repository and controller. Today only we'll see this.
Yeah.
So when we use @repository annotation, this is a good example which I took from Geeks for Geeks, and I will explain you practically over here. Now see, @repository annotation, it is a type of stereotype annotation. Marks when we use over any class, it will mark a class as a data access object. What it means by data access object? Now next thing, it is a specialization of @component and support automatic exception transfer for persistence layers. @repository annotation we use over a class which deals with which one? Related with data transaction. It means whether we are trying to like where we are dealing with data access object, means DAO layer means what? At
Database level,
interface layer.
we can make any operation with database like add, edit.
Now at DAO layer means what? Data access object, it means what? At interface layer.
Okay.
As well
Means
as @repository we are using over that interface which are basically dealing with that database. So in the further when we'll go in that deep in while working on that Spring ORM and Spring MVC, that point of time we'll see the usage of this. But at this moment just you basic learn about this @repository annotation, where to use, and if we'll use what will happen, everything will. So we are having one class, a student, and which is having that three fields. Let me copy this, come over here, and this is what? A stereotype. So let me make it, no, sorry, this is what? A repository annotation. Where is that? Let me put it, sorry, not this. A student, it will have some properties, and let me define that getters and setters for it. So getters and setters, still Anirban has not joined. Okay, no issue, not an issue. getters and setters for all. Yes, generate. Then let me generate the two strings. Generate. Control Shift F, make it format. It will format your code in proper way. Then let us see with the next one, which one we are having one interface. I hope you already familiar with this interface, right?
Yeah.
Now this is over here, you will see something new over here that I haven't explained you, but you can get it to know what is going on, because you already know that interface in very well way. So student, repository, this is the name only which I am giving to this one. Finish it up. Done. This is only interface, simple. It is having what? Void save. This is a save method, and by default we know what? By default we know in interface by default properties are what? Public, static and final.
Yeah.
Public, static and final. We need to override it to give it the implementation, but here we can't give the implementation, no? And after Java 8 many enhancement came into the picture, that in that interface we can give the body also. For that static we have to use static static block. For that we can give that static block or method, static method I think, or default method is there. Let me not static, so let me public default default is the developer, not syntax here, default identifier expecting. Let me see that default. Come over here over the Google and let us see. List the method name which I can define inside Java interface. Let me check out. Default method is there, and why it has not accepted. Then default is there, and one static method is also there, which something. Let me check it out. Default void default void method name, and static is also there. Where is that static? We can use a static also. Public, where is that static? Default is the type of the method which we can give it in that over here. In the similar way, a static void or some, yeah, gone, as well as default default void, and give you the name of which one? arithmetic, arithmetic, and it will go away. It means, but apart from this, if you will try to write any method which you will try to give the body, that won't accept. Why? Because interface is abstract in nature by default, right? Suppose I am trying to give public static static public static void or num count. It has accepted because this is what? A static method, right? It will remove this static. Will it accept? No. Whether you keep it void or int, it won't accept, or any kind of a string or any kind of int array. Return what? Suppose over here int arr and return arr. Not possible. Why? See, abstract method do not specify a body, only applicable body which are the enhancement in that after JDK 8 or later on version. I didn't remember, but I know that apart from this static and default, we can't define any other type of method inside this. Which one? That interface. Why? Because interface is abstract in nature. We had one conversation at that point of time, that is that interface, using that interface we are achieving 100% abstractions. We can achieve 100% abstraction using interface, but if you can't guarantee that interface is 100% abstract in nature, no, because it can be 100%, we have to make it as 100%. It can't be also. Getting my point? Before JDK8 it was 100% abstract in nature. There was no any static and default method concept inside that interface, but later on changes happened and now we can give body also. It means what? We can't guarantee that interface is 100% abstract, but we can make it 100%. If we won't define these two things, then you can say that it is 100% abstract in nature. Other method we can't give the body, that's it. So this is one interface. For recalling those concepts I have got this. Now this is what one method, save is a method, and this is what only declaration we can have any type. Getting my point? Now this save is a method, it is having capital T and a small t. What is the meaning of capital T and a small t? Capital T defines this method. Inside this method, capital T is an argument type. And what is that argument? T is an argument. What is the type of this argument? Capital T. What is T means for type? Any type.
Okay.
You give integer type, it will accept. You give a string type, it will take. You give a student type, it will take. You give imply type, it will take. You give any other type, it will accept. That is the meaning of T.
It will be like
Very
global generic type.
Yes, it is not generic means what? We are specifying the type in collection. But it is, you can't say it is generic. Any type you pass, it will accept.
Okay.
You user define or predefine, any type you pass to this method, it will accept. There is no any issue. From anywhere, if you will call this same method and give that like integer value you pass, it will accept. User define, you take a student object, you give it, it will take.
Okay, got it.
Now next we are having T find a student, then by ID, and ID you define over here long ID, that's it. This is abstract in nature, only declaration. This is the type. Find a student by ID, this is what method name. Find by ID a student, you need to find by ID. A student, if we are going to search, find means what? Searching. If we are going to search a student, we have to give some parameter, na? On what basis we need to search. So we are going to search it by ID, by name also, by email, by city, by roll number. We can search it, na? The same thing over here. Find a student by ID. Once it will find that a student, it will be returning. So their type is what? T. This is only this much. Now next we are going to define repository. Over here you can see that @repository annotation, which we are implementing over class, and this is an implementation class. Suppose while learning that interface, we got to know that in interface we are only having declaration, but whenever we will implement that interface, it is 100% our duty to give implementation body for that interface, isn't it? In our classes. So for their implementation class, we need to use over here, isn't it? And for that we are creating one implementation class, and for that I am giving this name, student repo SITO or a repository. That's it. This is the name only, that's it. This is the implementation. It means what? We have to implement, na? Implements which one? Interface. Which interface? A student repo. That's it. If we are implementing a student repo, guarantee we have to override those methods and need to give body or not?
Yes.
For that's the reason it is giving us error. We'll click on this. Now overridden, error gone. and this is the only method which we have declared inside that interface now, save and find by id. That's it. So their implementation we have given over here. Error gone, right? Now this is the class for which I want from a Spring IOC container that a Spring IOC need to create bean for it. For that I am annotating it with @repository. Over here I can use component also, @component, @service, but annotations are made for a specific person. When IOC container will scan, they will create object, that is okay, but for a specific task we are having a specific annotations. @component, @service, @repository. Repository means what? It is dealing with the database, means we are going to save somewhere, we are going to find from somewhere.
From database or in the
Yes, so that is the meaning for this repository annotations. Clear?
actually in line number
Don't
15, that find student by id, it is a object type, but there you defined as a t like object, but
no issue. Object, so if you will pass from here student object, will it get passed or not? Yes, definitely it will get passed. Don't worry, just see now. Let us see next.
okay.
Clear? Let us see next what is happening. Yes, now so I need to create over here one map, private map, and type is which one? Long is id. Map interface, I hope you remember in that collection framework, map is an interface. We use map in collection for which purpose? To hold entries in key value pair, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
And their implementation class are which one? Hash map or linked hash map, tree map. I hope you remember those. So this is the map interface. Why we use map over here? Such that I will be holding a student object using key and value. So key means what? ID. Based on this ID we'll search also. Now over here what is the type? A student. Clear? And over here this is which one? Repository. Let me see that. Repo equal to new hash map, and this is the repo. A student repo, you can see TUDNT repo. A student repo, this name already given, student repo equal to new hash hash map. Just give this. We need to import this class, hash map class, which is the implementation for map interface, right? That's it, done. Now what we need, actually we need to save a student where? In this map. When we'll save? Whenever we will call this save method, right? At that point of time we need to save object, but how we are going to save it? That is the question. So student repo dot student repo, this is that dot what? Save is not there. Dot put, I suppose put, right? Over here id and student will have to save na. So this student we will be passing to this save, and for that not only t, over here will use what? student. For that import this one, student. Now student repository, student repo is this one, right? Over here we need to give that type student, then error will go away, gone, right? Put what? student dot. If you are not getting, don't worry, but at least you are looking over here, right? If you will do practice you will get, but just you see the flow how it is going on. This is the id which will get set where? Here at this place. Now need to save a student. Which student? This student. Control C and save it here. Done. Done. What I have done over here, see, in this map, if I wish to save object, what I will have to do it over here, I need to have one long value, right? I need to have one student object, then only I can give one entry inside this map, right? Tell me.
Yeah, yes, yes, sir.
So for this, whenever we will call this save method, from where we will call? Outside of this, where we will create IOC container, no? From there
Mm-hmm.
we'll try to save this student. How will save this? During student save, will pass a student object. Yes. When will pass a student object, a student will have what? A
ID.
student ID, student ID will have, right?
Mm-hmm.
Name will have, age will have, right?
Mm-hmm.
In this case, from this only I'm taking that ID. ID is of what type? Long. So at this place, long key, we got ID over here, right? Long. Getting my point? See, when I'm passing a student to save over here, means a student is containing ID or not?
Yes, yes.
So that ID I am getting over here. Using getter we can get ID or not?
Yeah, yeah, we can get that ID.
So that ID we are getting, and that is the ID I am putting inside this at this place, long.
Okay, okay.
Then
Mm-hmm.
comma, then comma, then a student object I need to pass. So that a student I have given over here. That's it, done.
Okay, okay, got it.
No issue. How much you got? If you will do practice, you will be getting it.
Mm-hmm.
Now next, find by ID. So simply over here, remove this a student, make it over here. What? A repo. Which repo? student repo. This is that map, na? From here, how we are getting one entry dot get, and over here we need to pass key ID. Which ID? This ID. That's it. If a student would be available, it will give us the return back. That's it. Done, right? Our
Mm-hmm.
repository over here, done. That repository means bin name you can specify over here also. How we are going to specify that bin name? You can give over here student dnt. That's it. Done, right? After a student this implementation, how I have given this student, that might be one question. If you will come into this repository interface, now see, after a student, one argument I have given. This is the meaning of type. Any type you can add over here. For this purpose only I am able to this assign this value a student.
Yes.
Getting
Yeah, yes.
now we need to create which one? Main method, main class. We are here, repository main, repository main class. It will have that main method. Done, right? From here we need to create annotation config, annotation config, application context IOC equal to new annotation config application context. Done. And this, what we need to provide? We need to provide package. Which package? This package name. Where is that package name? Once will come in a student, this is the package name. Just you copy it, control C, come to this repository and give it over here inside double quote, control V. Only package name, no any class name. It will, during execution, it will execute this package and it will look for respective classes. That's it. Done, right? Which bin I need? I need a student repository bin. What is the name of this bean? A student. That's it. I'm calling over here ioc dot get bean. Which one? student. And give me the class name. What is that class name? student repo SITURY repository dot class. That's it. Assign it over here. student repo bean. That's it. When using this we can call save method dot save a student. Where is a student? student. A student we need to create, right? How we are going to create? Using constructor base. How? New student and just you pass the value. Which value? A student is having three property. What are those three property?
ID, name,
ID, name,
age.
age. You can do it anyway. You either you create object over here manually and you assign. No issue. Three things, right? A student ID. It is of type long, right? So ID you can give 100 capital L. Then name just you give it over here. Then age you need to give. Age is of integer type. Give 28. Is that error gone? Not gone. Why? Because constructor might not be available over here.
Yeah. You want to
So we
create
need to
parameters.
constructor required, no?
Constructor required.
So come over here, constructor from superclass. This is that default constructor. Now constructor we required which type? Parameterized type. Over here parameterized type constructor required, no? So we'll take using field.
If we don't
Select
create
all.
that constructor, then we can add one by one.
Manually. Manually we can do one by one. Yes, we require. Now I think error gone, right? Remove this. This is one save, right?
Yeah.
Can we save multiple? Yes, we can save multiple. Control C, come B, Control V, Control V, Control V. That's it. This is manual creation, right? This is not been created by whom? Spring IOC. Because object is already we got from IOC. That's it. Using this object we are calling their property manually. Now 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 here. Now you keep over here Suman Rana. Age is how much? 23, 24.
1.
21. Then Anirvan. Let me have it. Anirvan. And age is suppose 32. Now we have Alok sir. Age suppose 58. Now we'll have Sunit Chaudhary sir. Age might be 68. That is random. Don't go on with that. That's the random. Now our object assignment is done. Can we call save method is calling is done. Can we get the values? Find by ID? Yes. student repo dot student repo bean dot spelling mistakes student student repo control V done. Control V dot find a student by ID. Now which one we want to find? 400. 400L. Will it give the value? Definitely it will give the value. Just you right click and run it.
Sir, is that good?
Why it has not?
Because you are not printing that value from there or here.
Yes, correct, you are right. Control X, sys out, Control V.
There is double statement in line number 19.
19, what is that?
Double statement terminator.
Okay, correct. We got output, right?
Yeah.
Suppose we wish to display all. How we can do that? We need to call display all method. But can we call directly display all method? Here display all is not available, right?
Yeah, we have to create.
For that we need to create. For that we need to call toString method, or directly is there any method over here display all? Let me check it out. Yes, we can do that. Display all, that's it. Control C, come here, then import it. This is display all, right? Here we can get display the values. How? We need to student repo dot entry set, or directly we need to for loop, right? For on map, how we are going to iterate? For each here, let me I is less than student repo dot size I plus plus, and then system dot out dot println print what? student repo dot entry set, or values only, value. Give me 1 minute. Repo dot entry set, what is the return type? And this one entry set entry. Give me 1 minute. Now how to iterate over this? Because directly we can't iterate on this in this way. Control C, Control V dot for each loop entry entry sys out. Let me check it out whether it will work or not. done, right? Display all, come over here. That is the this is which one? That Java 8 lambda expression, sorry, lambda expression, no, train Java 8 enhancement. Over there we need to learn about this one. This is what we'll explain you later on this.
Okay.
For each method is available in that Java 8 new features,
Right.
where we need to learn predicate, consumer, and those things we have to learn over there. This is one single statement in which we are like
Mhm.
iterating over set of entries. Now just you come over here. Now try to print all. How? student repo bean dot display all. That's it. Now next IOC dot close. Got printed all, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
Then why it is printing ID, then student ID, student name, student age, ID. Let me come and see. Display all here.
Mm. It's not like organized.
I'm printing only entry, right? Okay, for this key, entry set contains
Yeah,
what?
yeah,
Key
yeah.
and value, right?
There is no.
So this is the key, this is the key, and this is the value.
Mm.
Value contains in this one ID, name, and
Mm-hmm.
age, right? This is complete a student object, and this is the key 400, 100, 500, 200, 300.
Okay, okay, got it.
And this is random,
It's
right?
not a.
because map uses hash map, and hash map we know internally uses hash table uses hashing means what? Using that code it is defining that at which location we need to store this object. So that's the reason it is random.
Mm.
400, 100, 500, 200, 300. I hope it is
Yeah,
clear,
yes, yes,
right?
sir.
And due to this repository only, IOC container has created the bean with a student name. So today this much only. Do practice on this repository. Very good example over here with usage of good example usage of this interface with something new over here you saw, right? This is
Mm-hmm.
one type we can declare over
Yes.
here. Inside this we are using map interface, how we are assigning values, how we are getting values. All these are very important. And also you got to know over here about this T. Any type you can. This is the meaning of type. T means type. This is the object. Any type you can assign it. You go with this. Do practice, and do practice because very important. We'll meet in the next session. Any doubt if you will have, you can post in the group. I will be guiding you over
Okay.
there. Any question?
No, sir, not for now.
So thanks for attending.